Smiling Lee jump scare. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another PGR reaction. Today we have Dim Light, the theme for Lee Hyperreal, and that's about it. This one was requested by HazardX in the comments of the last video, and I have no other context other than whose theme it is. So I'm just gonna hear what this has in store, and without further ado, let's go. Oh, Lee's the vocalist, okay. I know they do that with PGR a lot. It just always shocks me. He's got a really nice butteriness with his voice.
自ら作った炉に閉ざされて収束の世界目指して
guitar creeping in here.
道の旅へ
Sounds like an anime intro.
懐かしきかすかな光
There it is, the anime intro chord progression. There it is. I can't believe I called that. Drums? Yep. Take a pause. Into it. Okay. It's just doing all of the things. That doesn't make it bad. Maybe a little predictable, but still sounds really nice. It does have a little bit less punch than I was hoping for. But I'm not like disappointed either. It's just kind of like, okay. I just can't believe I called it for two different aspects. I feel like it's got a great hook to it, but that's exactly why it's just an anime intro. Stereotypical, but that doesn't mean bad. You can also tell that Lee's voice, like his actor is not a singer, you know, not a trained one, but that's fine too. I think it's more in the novelty of having the character sing is why that works. I feel like I've heard this. Maybe that's a motif in like one of the themes of the game or something. It sounds so familiar. It's been a little while since I've played PGR, but maybe that was like a menu theme or something. It sounds really familiar. I would not be shocked at all if that is the case. All right, so now I get to explain to you why this song was so anime. It uses what's called the Royal Road progression, or at least a variation of it. If it uses the exact Royal Road, I would be kind of surprised, but it's close enough, and you'll see why. I'll explain and showcase the exact chords and how, but basically, this is one of the most common chord progressions in all of anime ever fucking ever. It is all over the place, and it's used when you want that like really powerful progressive sort of sound alongside a little bit of a bittersweet energy, and that's where I think that this variation potentially comes into play, because I don't think it's looping down to where the normal Royal Road goes. I think it just kind of goes right back up to where it started immediately and kind of cuts out another chord that would be in the standard version. So just to give you an overview of what the Royal Road progression is, it's F, G, E minor, and then down to A minor, and you can hear that that goes a little bit too low. So what I think is happening in this song is F, G, E minor, and then just goes right back up to F, and it just starts there again. And that's pretty common. There are a lot of variants here. This one sounds a little bit more jazzy, has some more room there, and I think this might even add a little bit of a seventh on there, which is basically just another note 2 up from the top. That just adds a little bit of that kind of hanging bittersweetness in the song. So there's a lot of potential here, but I know that this is some variant of the Royal Road. There's quite a few variants of the Royal Road. One of them even includes the classic C major, so it's very possible it's any of those, but from my little fiddling around, just feels the most cyclical with this song. It syncs up the best. But down here on that A minor, that does kind of exist, but that's exactly why I think that this top end might add that seventh there. So when it kind of loops back down, it has this A minor in there just with an extra bottom. That would be that E minor, but with that extra note on the top. It's how music theory do. But basically, that's why this song sounds anime. It's used all over the goddamn place. It is one of the most stereotypical corners of anime music, but that's exactly why it's so familiar. And then just the structural things of like me calling out when the drums come in, that's just knowing how music works and how that emotional buildup needs to happen constructively just to be able to make it hit right, you know? It's how music does. There's a formula to everything, and even when people throw that shit against the wall and don't want to deal with it, there will always be some way to wrap back around to what music theory wants out of you. That's exactly why it's a theory, not necessarily a fact, but at the same time, has a lot of weight in the discussion. As far as everything else goes about the song, I did kind of comment that Yoshitsugu Matsuoka's voice, it's not like trained to be a singing voice. He's a great, phenomenal even voice actor. He's been around forever. I've heard him in everything. So have you probably if you watch subtitle anime. But the point is, not every single actor is a trained singer. There's a lot of people who can do both, and much like you just heard in this one, he can kind of sing, but there was a lot of correction on his voice. You can hear that like electronic sort of layer, basically just auto-tune on his voice as they try to pitch correct him. That's going to happen for people who don't know how to sing properly and don't have that sort of training. I'm not holding that against him. I didn't expect it. Like I said, it's more of a novelty than anything to have him actually singing this as they do for other people, but some of their voice actresses and actors do have more training than others, so you're going to get a little bit of a mixed pot here. For this case, again, it's just more of the novelty than anything, but I think he held his own fairly well. The biggest thing, unfortunately, for this one that I think just kind of sucked a little bit was the mix. I was so hoping there'd be a little bit more of a punch to it, and there just wasn't. That's partially the anime thing where like you're expecting that big emotional push, and again, you have these chords in here that just have this sort of pressure that make you want to have this sort of cyclical like energy. It's trying to pull you into it and make you get emotionally involved, and the fact that it's not is kind of unfortunate. And again, it's not that it's like a bad song. The Royal Road formula is a formula, but it's one that's familiar and it has its place for a reason. You know, it does exactly what it needs to do phenomenally well, and that's exactly why it was used. I'm sure it matches that energy perfectly, but at the same time, when the mix kind of fails to give you that extra shove, you're like, ah, I thought I was gonna watch an anime, but this is just somebody's mixtape, and it's a little bit of a bummer. I think otherwise, like, the mix of everything was good. It just needed more push, you know, a little bit more pump into more juice in the song, you know. It's just missing some of that volume, and that basically if you were to like compress wall this entire song in the mix and master, this would sound so much better because the core instruments are placed well. It's just not loud enough, frankly. If you gave this song a Compression Wars facelift, it would be insanely impressive. You could just take this one, remaster it, bump things up a little bit, and it would just hit a little bit better, because everything everything else, like I said, really fucking good. Just that is really the only thing holding it back, and they do a good job at everything else in here, even down to, sure, Matsuoka's voice not being the best for this sort of thing. He holds his own surprisingly well, so I really can't fault him for it. It's just the mix that really holds it back. But now, if you didn't know before, you know all about the Royal Road music formula, and you can utilize it in your own songs. Do that if you play guitar, play that chord progression on your guitar, throw it into power chords, you will be playing any anime song at all times ever. It's just most of them, like Gurenge, for example. There's one, you know, most Naruto openings, there's like 5 more, you know? There's plenty of songs that utilize this progression or some variation of it. Throw in a C chord, make a little bit of a variation. There you go. You have a new anime intro. Throw in a little bit of pop punk vocals and you've got a song. But hopefully you enjoyed this video and a little bit more of the like music theory stuff. This is something I'm still kind of trying to introduce more into my videos recently, instead of just talking about my raw opinions, actually adding a little bit more of an educational value. So hopefully you all like that. If you do and you want me to get to another song from PGR, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!